Hi, this is Care, or Care for short, and today we'll just be going over the basics of like what Git is and how to make commits via GitHub, and also the command line or terminal, depending on what computer you have, and just basic kind of stuff, terminology and whatnot. So Git is basically just um, a way to help with version control. So basically, let's say you're with like a Google Doc or something. It's basically that whenever someone makes changes, it can record and basically help uh, log. It can help log changes and conflicts as well for things more in depth than just like docs or something. So for codes, for files, really anything. So it's really neat for more than just really, it's very versatile. So first, what you want to do really is, well, first of all, install Git. So you'll just go here. I'll link it below, but you just go here and download it and follow through the usual installer, and you should be good. And so once you have that, we're going to go back here to GitHub and starting off. First of all, you'll need a GitHub account, so you'll need to sign up for that. The usual password, username, etc., email verification. But once you do that, you should be able to go either there'll be something here next to read the guide to start a new project, or you can hit the plus up here, hit new repository. A repository is basically just a project or like a container for your new project or files. And so basically, when you just should choose your name, whatever you want to make it. I mean, mine Git dash rodeo because why not? And you can toggle stuff like if you want a private or public, and other stuff that we'll get into another time. But for now, you can click create repository, and it should give you a screen like this. So we have this. So let's first try figuring out and just seeing the process of how to make commits through GitHub. So you have simple readme and stuff, right? Let's try adding a new file. Here. Let's name this. Howdy. I'm glad I recognize that. Call a sea cowboy pirate. But alright, let's say you have something like this, and you see something down here. It's called commit new file. And what committing basically is basically marking a time of change in your code. So it really helps, like, if there are any conflicts or if you're testing out like new changes or anything. So it kind of like makes like a new thing of it. So let's say new file, howdy, right? Quotes. Something like that joke. Sure. And you can commit it directly to the main branch, but for now, we're more often than not, you're gonna create a new branch for this commit and start pull request, and we'll go through like what a pull request. Pull request is just like an easy way to settle conflicts and merge like everything properly, making sure that like all the changes between yours and your group mates updates are work well together, and you can settle things out. It's basically like settling a conflict. So we'll just call this howdy. Yeah. So, and when you press the file, basically it should take you to a page like this. Open a pull request, and basically why we want to do it to a new branch instead of the main. So I feel like it's easier to explain drawing it out. Let's use brown. Why not? So let's say you have like your main branch, right? Is your main branch. Let's just try that. And so this is your main project, right? Like this little thingy bobber, right? That's your main project. And so when you're making branches, you're doing like this, they're just little things, not important. Like if you tore them off, it wouldn't be a big problem. So let's say one of these branches ended up getting like, I don't know, some fungus or something, or just didn't end up working out. You can just go and erase it, and as a whole, the tree or your project will be fine, since it didn't reach the main stable trunk or your main branch. So basically, it's the same as this. Like when you're making changes or trying out new things, when you don't know if they work or anything, you wanna use a branch instead of just putting it on the main thing, because you don't know if there'll be conflicts or if it'll break something or whatnot. So basically, it's always good to just have like a separate timeline or a separate branch, just to be safe, so you can work out any conflicts and double check like anything. So here it kind of checks, like it doesn't always do well, but like for the most part it's pretty good. So it's like able to merge, because all we're doing is adding a file, so it's not like we're overwriting current files in the main branch, we're just adding more. So it says these branches can be automatically merged. So when you create a pull request, you're basically saying like, hey, can I upload this, and can I add this? And you have like your stuff here as your like little preview, and you can just press here. If there's no conflicts, you can create pull requests. And there's ways to like, what's the word? There's ways to combine and settle things and merge, but you can say it was nighttime. For now, we're just gonna confirm merge. So we're gonna merge our branches, Howdy and Main, because they have no conflicts, therefore it's safe to do it. So now you can do that, and you can go ahead and delete the branch if you want to too, and everything should be alright for the most part. And then as you can see, this is our main branch. Yep, this is where you see the different branches. This is our main branch. We're on our main branch right now, and this was added to the main. So that's pretty neat. That's one way to do commits and stuff. Oopsies. Do commits. Okay, so the other way to do commits via the command line. So when you make a new empty repository, a remote repository via GitHub, it should look like this. Basically, what you want to do after this is it gives you all the commands you need to do in order to push your files or your local repository to your remote repository. So all we're gonna do is open up your command prompt, command line, terminal. You can also use IDEs, terminal, I believe, and we're gonna basically just to make our life easier, we're gonna this here, and we're gonna separate just to make it easier, and you can just copy and paste most of this if you're starting just anything. So you write git init for git initialize, which we should do that. Git add, let's just add a readme for now, it's pretty basic. And then we can commit that addition of the new file. We'll say new file, and it should say one file changed and one file insertion, plus, just to tell you that what you've done added to your local repository, you committed a time of change in your code to your local repository. And from there, usually you would add it to a separate branch. For now, we're just gonna add it to a main branch to make our lives easier. So git branch, and you can also check, there are additional commands you can check, such as git status or git log if you've made commits before, or if you're pushing from a group of like a project folder that or a repository that already has stuff in it, and you can check what and what does not, what is not and what is committed, basically. And so those are additional things. Currently, we don't need those since we're starting on kind of like a new repository from local to remote, but I just want to mention that. So git branch, you can also check which branch you are by just saying git branch, or not. Oh, there you go. And it should tell you like a little asterisk. It'll show you all the available branches and what branch you're on. For now, we just have main, so we're just going to keep it at that. But there's that. And so next we want to add a reference. to our remote repository, and basically you can just copy this here, or the URL, or this, or basically you want the URL for it, and basically just via this you can add a remote origin, basically where our local repository can refer to, or like a reference connection, and basically it should connect. I already tested this out, so it's technically already connected. But yeah, so after that, you want to push your commits that you made to your local repository. So that you can do git push -u origin name. You want to push it. You're pushing it to the origin, the remote repository, and the main branch. So doing that, it should just take a little, depending on how many files you have. Here we only have like one, so it's easy. So it is just adding simple things, and it says, well, it says like it's successful and all that. So if you go over here to your back to the remote repository at GitHub and you refresh it, it should change and it should have your added file right here. So as you can see, we added a readme.md, and as you can see, it was added here. So that is another way in which you can make commits via the command line or command prompt terminal. And that's about it. So check out my post, and that's about it. So make sure to look at my post on this. Basically, it's easier than me telling you all. It's easier to just look at like a list of all the commands and terminology you need for via like command line, like git status, git log, git push, git pull, all that stuff. It goes a little more, not in depth, but it kind of like lists more about that. But either way, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and see y'all soon.